over 20,000 fruiting bags already, sir.
Right.
And I think the biggest in Cagayan is about 5,000.
No. Well, previously I think that was Raba's Gourmet Mushrooms. They're doing pretty good. They have thousands as well. But we're definitely, to my knowledge, the largest in Region 2, and going to expand beyond that for sure. But yeah, again, this is a prime example how simple this can be. Doing scale of this is what we want to show. That's what we're looking to teach, is that it's easy for somebody to get into when they just work with the people. And that's one of the cool things is like the mushroom community here has many Facebook groups and a lot of communication channels. So the knowledge is there. It's just about getting it out there.
It's easy to actually get the information.
Right. And it's one thing. It's one thing to see it on online and all that stuff sort of thing, but it's another to see it in person and functioning and doing the right way. Yeah, and that's one of the coolest parts I think about this too, is that anybody who is farming rice currently, they have access to rice straw. They can get into this very easily with stuff that would otherwise go to waste.
Marami na kayong na-process
Na
let's say powder.
nag-start pa lang po kami. Nag-start pa lang. Kaya nakikipag-collaborate po ako sa DTI at sa DOST kung yung technology na kung anong pwede nilang kuan.
What will be the shelf life if it's already a powder?
Oh, it could last for I think at least a year. When it's dried, it's got a much larger shelf life. So yeah, this is our going to be our main fruiting house.
Karon po ng kuan ito ng yung mister.
Oh.
Yeah. Magiging control. Meron po sa ngayon pan pa lang
all automated.
Pretty much. It's got a control panel that will run the fans.
Mas presko ho dito banda.
This will hold just on the racks 18,000 bags.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gusto mo bang matuto ng agribusiness, crops, livestock and poultry, aquaculture, at ma-inspire sa mga success stories? Agribusiness, how it works! As a YouTube channel, Agribusiness features entrepreneurs, farmers, organizations, OFWs, investors. However, beyond our usual content and official endorsements, Agribusiness does not engage in other business dealings with them. While our viewers and featured individuals and entities may choose to pursue business deals with each other on their own, we encourage them to be cautious in doing so. This September, join us for a day of 6 panel discussions, exhibits, business socials, and dinner. Learn from agriculture's top experts and explore the ideal farming venture for you at Agribusiness Connect. Happening at Elements at Centris, September 28, 2025. Doors open at 12 noon. Don't forget to register through the link in the video description box or simply message us on Agribusiness Facebook page. You may also text us at 0917-827-7770. Strictly no walk-ins. Agribusiness Connect. Agriculture in full view. Win a trip to Taiwan. Explore the beauty of Taipei and Taichung, made possible by Book & Go Travel and Tours Services. 2 lucky winners will be announced during the event. Don't miss your chance. We would like to thank our major sponsors. Rural Bank of Angeles, your rural bank of choice.
Tate Vitamin Feeds, best value solutions for shrimp farming. Agri-Dom, empowering you with digital agriculture. Amo, ako'y magsasakang organiko. Itaas ang ani, ibaba ang gastos. All certified equipment. A company steered by experts, manned by professionals. Greenland Organic Fertilizer. Katuwang sa pag-asenso ng magsasakang Pilipino. Tuburan Coffee. Hand-picked and roasted with love. Nutri-Hydro Plant Nutrients. Think precision. Think Nutri-Hydro. Villa Orbe Farms. Pioneer of pure Berkshire and RAS-fattened crabs. Bulacan Dragon Fruit Depot. Source of quality dragon fruits and planting materials. Dendrotonics, Agarwood and Deforestation, for God, Country and Wealth. Yamang Bukid, galing sa kalikasan, alay sa kalusugan. Rick Zwan, sharing a healthy future. Don Benitos, Pambansang Kasava. We would also like to thank Sugarcane and Beyond, RSL Fish Crackers, Innovative Agro Industries, Rumsol, Boa Machines, Turbulent Greenhouse, Crispy King, Asil Laboratories. See you in Agribusiness Connect!
Pupunuin po namin ito ng and they're supposed to bring the air cooler now because it's ready. Ito, magkakaroon po kami dito ng automatic misters na siya para na-set up na rin po yung rito.
Mga ilang weeks, sir, bago puno na to?
Baka 1 week lang, sir. Mapupuno na namin
Puno na in 1 week, sir?
Oo. Kakargahan na namin ito. Kasi tignan nyo nandun sa kwan namin, sa seedling kwan namin, punong-puno na. There's no more space there. So, baka pupunuin po namin ito. Ito po yung kwan niya, kung doon ng tapos hihigupin ng air doon.
Yeah, so
it's similar with the tunnel vent.
Yeah, so this is actually like a water curtain, right?
Yes.
So the water runs over here. The fans in the front pull the air through, and then it brings in moisture and cool air through this. And we have a temporary water cooler, air cooler that we're going to set up and begin filling this right away. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of space here, and this will make it so we can have a controlled environment to, do the other species and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maglalagay na
Step
po
up the
kami
production.
Lalagyan na po kami
high value.
mga high value na
Since
rito.
it's a controlled temperature, how much increase of productivity?
Well, vastly, actually, because the Philippines gets so hot, as everybody knows. It gets hot in the Philippines, that a lot of the times during the summer when it's exceeding 33 Fahrenheit or Celsius, the mycelium can slow down, which can actually slow down the production from farmers. So a lot of the people who consistently do this that we spoke to, they kind of have an off season for the summer because of the slower growth rate. But with a controlled environment situation, we won't have that.
We can grow all year round.
Yeah, we can grow all year round consistently.
Consistently.
There are some government officials that are saying you're not gonna make it with this mushroom because it's too hot in the Philippines.
Right.
They didn't know that we're using controlled temperature greenhouse.
Yeah.
It's 100% protected cultivation too.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that's the other
yes,
thing is we'll get a much higher quality out of this. You don't have to worry about the weather, the rain, or the dust, or any of that sort of thing. It keeps everything a lot nicer.
Wow, this is the modern mushroom house that I was able to see
Yes, sir. Kaya nga,
so far.
It actually gets even crazier.
dito po namin yung mga high value na namin ilalagay.
Yeah, so this will be actually for medical grade mushrooms. The plan here is to produce as much lion's mane as possible, as well as a few other varieties. But with this, this is fully controlled. Everything is run from a digital panel here. We're just now getting this thing finished, and so everything runs off this control panel here. It controls absolutely everything, from the temperature to the humidity to the CO2. All that is done via this panel, and you can put it on cycles to keep everything flawlessly perfect inside. Yeah, and let's see if this thing is open. Yeah. So
Is it did they clean it?
yeah, it's clean. But so basically, what we're going to do now at this stage is we're going to put the racks in. And then put in the misters for this and have this operational by the next time you guys come.
Wow.
Yeah, but it took quite a bit. I think this might be the only one of these in the country, as far as I know. I haven't seen another, but we hope to again, show people what's possible here.
Sir, ba't dito naman sa gilid ng kalsada?
Eto po kasi ikukuan na namin ito kasi
Mag-fence ka?
property po ko po lahat kasi
Lahat
ito.
to proper.
Opo, pati sa kalsada sakop po ng property namin.
Property mo rin yung kalsada,
Opo.
okay.
So, maglalagay kami ng gate dito para pagpasok showcase. Tapos maglalagay kami ng office diyan.
Okay.
And we are planning to naka-design po yan na 4 pa na ganyan.
More
Yeah,
houses.
3 more of
Three
those
more houses.
greenhouses.
Oh,
Agreement
it's a
namin.
huge investment.
Yes, this is going to take a lot, but it'll be worth it. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those things that's going to be, permanent fixture here, and be able to provide a lot of education and a lot to a lot of people. So it's worth it.
Ayan, ang laki ho yung maganda ho ang potential ng mushroom. Basta meron lang kayo ma-establish na market talaga.
What's your main business, Leo?
I basically am a project manager. Essentially, I like just running around doing what I find enjoyment in. I like helping people. I like doing stuff that can teach people how to produce. I like I know it's. If you're not having to do the lab part of it, say you're purchasing fruiting bags for fruiting, then you don't. The overhead is much lower. So you just need to make sure that you have a space with the right humidity, the right temperature, and that's clean. That's it.
It's okay just to buy the fruiting bag.
Absolutely. A lot of people do that. There's a huge market for that because not a lot of people have access to or the knowledge to do the cultures in the bags themselves. Which is fine.
Meron
you
don't
don't
mga
need to.
nagbebentang ganyan, kwan lang yung sa ang production nila yung kwan lang, fruiting bags lang, hindi sila nag-grow. Bebenta lang.
Yeah, something really popular that is just a random product that I noticed was like at-home mushroom kits. It's just one bag in a box with instructions, and people do that and they put it in their kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yep, and they produce their mushrooms that way for their meal.
I tried that in my kitchen. It didn't grow.
Oh no! It was too hot.
Ang maganda pong potential is the lion's mane. Kasi ang lion's mane is very popular now in the US.
Right.
Because of the medical benefits niya, yung sa dementia.
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Well, and also like strokes, people who have nerve damage, it's got the ability to help repair
Expensive
nerves.
yun, sir.
Expensive po dito kasi wala pa naman gaanong kwan dito nag-grow.
Sophia, she's my daughter,
Hello.
and he's from Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
I love Lake
It's nice to meet you.
We love the place.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, we've been there last November.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys get to go on the lake?
Ay,
Yes.
nakakatawa eh. That's our motto to write, build and they will come.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think this whole thing started from a simple rice farm,
See, you even came here
Yeah.
because of what I built.
Yeah, exactly.
You found me, right?
Yeah.
Paano kayo nahanap?
Po?
Paano kayo nahanap?
May nag-refer sa kanya, naghahanap siya ng he's looking for somebody to collaborate with him with that Paulownia
Yeah,
project.
the agroforestry thing started it all.
agroforestry.
Yeah, my friend knew of him and his legend, I guess, and introduced us. He was like, "This is a perfect fit." He's all about innovation and making these things happen, and so we just started right away.
Kasi gusto niya yung makuan kaagad yung project niya. So, doon ka pumunta sa FDN kasi sa FDN marami ng mga networks nagpupunta yung mga yung mga farmers, sabi niya, So dito okay naman kami. Hanggang sa naisipan namin na habang nag-aantay diyan sa agroforestry, we started the mushroom.
Were you able to get piece of land from the DNR for stewardship?
Actually, they provided us with 1 hectare, right?
That's still in process, but eventually we'll navigate that, and there's supposed to be 2 demonstration sites that we're going to do 2 hectares with them in due time.
They even showed you those areas. You visited the areas,
Yeah,
right?
we did all the viewing and make sure there was no 10-year-old instruments on the land, and did the surveys and that sort of thing. So that's still a work in progress.
Where's the location?
In a gig in
Igig.
Alcala, I believe that's
Alcala,
where they
Cagayan.
wanted them.
Alcala,
Cagayan.
Yeah,
Yung local DNR nila.
yeah. and
Malayo yun, sir, no?
Sir, dito po sa Cagayan, it's around 2 hours drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then probably we should have some trees planted right next door. The neighbor's interested in a demonstration site here too, like a full-scale one, 1 hectare. And then in Santa Ana, once we get settled into CESA, it's basically as much as I can grow to make different agroforestry models for demonstration there.
And Isabela State University.
Oh, right. And then also currently, actually, that's something you could see. It's pretty close. There's a bunch of Paulownia and iron bamboo planted at ISU Aurora. We plan on going, and we're planning on working together with them in a much higher capacity. Eventually, what we want to do is start a micropropagation lab with them, in collaboration with them, where we can teach students how to mass produce, trees and plants through micropropagation efforts to help assist the larger program of the agroforestry model and distribution.
And what's your propagation method?
Micropropagation, where where you take very small bits of the plant and you put it into a grow medium. And
so it's a tissue culture.
Tissue culture, yeah, exactly.
And magiging added income for the ISU.
Yeah, and that's another angle that we look to help the school itself through this and be helping people in the same token by making the lab where we can also, do mass production of other plants and stuff, and then they in turn can sell those off and help fund the school and the advancements for the educational system there.
So you will harvest the tree as timber?
Eventually, but again, that's the leaves and the flowers and the stuff that goes along the way is what's key there. So the model itself, we'll be able to harvest the leaves and the other stuff. But in the meanwhile, you're also growing food crops and stuff like that as those trees are growing, and that's
so it's an intercropping system.
That's the real key, is that it's an intercropping system. So it's not taking away from the immediate income needs of your average farmer and stuff like that. By doing it this way, you can layer in a few different crops at the same time. You can have your high turnover crops, your mid-range turnover crops, and then your long-term with your timber and your consistent collecting of animal feed, fodder, and eventually collecting up all the flowers and the seeds and all the other stuff from the trees themselves. Yeah.
It's also for export, the timber.
Right. So that's one of the things that we're looking to address here is obviously, reforestation is super important in the Philippines. I think that the number is that the Philippines loses something around 47,000 hectares a year to deforestation, right? And the only way to truly combat that is by planting more than we're losing, right? And so my plan, and this is where the micropropagation lab to produce 100,000 trees a month comes into play, is we have to be able to plant more trees than are taken, right? And that's the only way to offset this. And so that's what, in the bigger picture of things, we're working towards.
The good thing with this is it's a fast-growing tree.
Right, and that's the other thing, is a lot of the efforts through the DNR and the replanting efforts done in general is a lot of the trees that are planted, they grow extremely slow. So even if you planted a larger number of trees, you're still not going to equate to the local demands, let alone international demand, or be able to catch up to what we've lost. So we need something that will have a faster turnover than waiting 20 years for a mahogany or something like that. Those need to be planted as well and heavily, but we need some alternative to be able to supply timber and kind of fill that gap, so the pressure comes off of all the natural resources.
You will do all the planting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we would look to organize that. The co-op type model that we've come up with will involve other farm schools and other schools such as ISU and other groups that we can work together and organize planting and all those sorts of things for the members that come on board.
Let's say if I own a piece of land, how can I join your group?
It will be very simple. So obviously we got to do all the proper legal channels and get this thing set up so it functions properly. But basically all they would have to do is get a hold of either one of the satellite groups or, Francis here in FDN, send the information, get the signups, and just join. And then what we'll do is basically figure out how much land they want to use, figure out how many trees that's going to take, figure out what's going to be ideal for them. Because, some people will want to do pure timber, you know, like they just want to plant a bunch of trees. Some people will need to rely on their land, so they'll want other additional food crops, and then we have to figure out what's going to work best for them or what their, you know, desires are in that situation. And so it's just about navigating it and doing what works best for the individual at that point. So yeah, all they really do is get a hold of us and sign up, and we plant some trees and do some good stuff.
You will buy the timber later on?
Yeah, that's the plan. Is like we plan to likely produce and sell in the country as much as possible to try and help meet the demand here, but eventually we'll do all the producing and exporting likely out of CISA, which makes the most sense. You know, there's available you know, processing and stuff like that, and the Port of Irene's right there. So it just makes it really easy, especially working in the north. As we expand out, we'll probably look into other areas, but for immediate solutions, that makes the most sense from where we are right now.
So the farm owners will buy the seedlings from you?
No, that's the beauty of this. So the idea here is that we work together. Producing and making the seeds and making the seedlings is very minimal cost when you think about it. It doesn't take, you know, a ton of effort, just the skills to do that. So the program and how it works is the person will join the co-op, right? It'll be a profit share model, as most co-ops are, and we provide the trees for free, right? You know, that's the whole point, is we're trying to make it so that people who have idle land or are elderly, you know, there's options out there for them to generate income while helping the country at the same time, you know? Yeah. So we wanted to make the barrier of entry as minimal as possible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So no, walang kailangang capital from the small stakeholders?
Yes, magbibigay po kami ng free seedlings.
All they have to do is to take care of the plant.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and that's the other thing is it's not that they're just taking care of the plant; they're taking care of the country at the same time and helping provide valuable information. You know, there's a lot of data to be gained. You know, it does CO2 sequestration and carbon sequestration. You know, it does a lot more good than, you know, they're doing a lot more. They're doing their part by, you know, joining, you know, and growing
the
trees.
environment.
Yeah, there's a lot of good that comes from this. It touches a lot of bases, you know, and there's a lot of importance in inspiring people and making a low barrier of entry to be planting trees and doing what we can to help the environment.
Wala bang permit requirements from DNR to plant those trees?
The permitting part is, from what I understand, is we just need to get permit for the actual cutting down, because there's a lot of stringent laws about removing trees, which you shouldn't, which is good. And so basically you just need to establish that property as intended for timber harvesting, you know, and given the nature of it, it being not a species that is protected per se, makes it more disposable. So those permits should be pretty easy to get, especially, you know, as we develop our cooperation with the DNR. I think we'll have a really easy time assisting people with all the correct paperwork. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, is anybody who is interested in seeing that too, they can always reach out to Francis on Facebook or whatever, and we can show them what this is really about, because it is a quite complicated program, you know. In essence, it's simple, but all the fine details when you get into the paperwork and doing all that sort of thing is, you know, there's a lot to it.
Dami nga nagtataka eh. Paano nyo, ba't pinamimigay nyo? Sabi na. Yeah. Remember, there were a lot of people asking, why are we giving it for free?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's really what it takes, you know. Like, a lot of people don't have the spare income in order to do a long-term investment like that, you know. Like, say they're going to buy, you know, 500,000 trees for the property that they have. That's a big chunk of money, you know, to be output, to be frozen up for, you know, years and years and years. You know, luckily this one isn't as long of an investment as, you know, say mahogany or something like that. So, you know, it just makes it a lot easier to go this route, and it's a lot, you know, a lot more acceptable for people to, you know, devote land to at the same time. You know, for people who are like, what am I going to do? It makes it, you know, kind of makes it equally as attractive as something short-term like growing corn or something like that, you know.
Maganda po, nagre-regrow kasi siya eh. Putulin mo siya, nagre-regrow. And while growing, you can use the leaves for livestock feed. Kaya po, wala pong nasasayang na oras din niya. Mabilis na siya na maging timber siya. Yung dahon niya habang lumalaki, napapakinabangan
How
na.
many times you're going to harvest?
Well, that's the beauty of it. And so the sustainability factor is super important here. So basically after, roughly, depending on what you're shooting for, if it's not biomass or something else, if you're doing your standard timber stuff, then after 5 years or so, you harvest and then it naturally regrows. It's called coppicing. So the tree will literally regrow exactly where it was taken down and replace itself. You will not need to replant.
How many shoots you're going to maintain after first harvest?
You just will focus on the one with
Just
the
one.
fastest growth. You'll clean out any interference, and so all the energy goes into the one, and then you just make sure that thing's growing straight, so you have nice, beautiful timber, and boom, you got a brand new tree.
And then when you harvest the second,
It will keep coppicing. Yeah.
it will grow again.
That's one of the beauties of this the tree. Like that's one of the things that makes this special in the way it does its regrowth ability.
It's the same quality from the first
Absolutely,
one?
yeah. I can show you some examples from a plantation in Germany with year 3 trees that are beautiful, absolutely perfect.
One-time planting.
Yeah.
Opo.
And then if
Gusto
you,
naman Pilipino yan.
One-time planting, saka kwan po. One-time planting, saka yung mabilis tumubo.
And how about the management? Is it easy?
yes, it's extremely easy. Like basically, all you want to do to keep your tree straight, depending on your weather and stuff. You might want to stake it to make sure it starts out good and straight early. Cut off the branches to keep its growth focused vertically, and then it won't redirect.
Yeah.
It won't redirect. So then you'll have nice timber. Yeah.
So might need to plant more dense so that it will go straight.
Yeah, 3 to 5 meters in between trees. Depending on again what your setup is to be. So it's not super dense. But again, if you wanted to do it for biomass and do mass amounts of it, then you can plant them a lot closer. Yeah. So there's a large variable on like how many you would plant per hectare.
Do you already have the figure how much a regular farmer will earn from selling the timber?
Yeah, so there's rough figures, of course. It depends on where it's sold and how it's sold and how much processing goes into it and those sorts of things. But it's hundreds of thousands of US dollars for basically an idle project. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, that's a really good incentive for something that's a very minimal maintenance wise. Is that's in 5 years, once the trees are harvested and sold, then boom, you have millions of pesos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a particular location, let's say the elevation, the climate requirement?
Actually, no. That's another beauty of this particular species is currently being used for desert remediation right now. They're actually, China and some of the other countries are using it to regain desert land. So I've grown this in the harshest climates already in the Philippines, which is being Taguigaro, as far as I know. It's the hottest, most harshest place you could possibly grow a tree. And I've successfully, those trees behind you, the one standing like 14 feet tall, that actually came from Taguigaro. Yeah. So, I mean, it's battle tested, as you would say. It doesn't get more extreme than there. So they've been through typhoons. They've been through almost 50 Celsius weather, how crazy hot it gets out there, and they've pulled through. The only sensitivities are when they're young. You always want to make sure that they don't dry out, obviously. So when you do,
You need to water them?
just when you do your transplanting until they get established. Once the roots established, they're pretty much
Yeah,
good
it's
to
done.
go. Yeah, you just want to make sure that they can take their transplant, and then say a couple weeks, maybe month at the most. Then you don't need to worry about it at all.
It follows.
And that's if you're planting in the summer, mind you, because during the rainy season they get
You
plenty
don't
of
need
water. Yeah, exactly.
It follows its characteristics, right?
Yeah.
The 10 to 20 feet in 1 year.
Yeah.
And that's
that
less
was
than 1 year.
That was like February, right?
Yeah, and how many feet do you think is that?
Probably 14.
See, so it's following its
What
characteristics.
do you think? How many feet do you think that is?
Yeah,
How many
probably.
meters?
Because it goes 10 to 20 feet in a year.
Yeah.
So it's almost a year, and it's more than 10 already.
Yeah.
And what's the ideal height, supposedly?
I mean, it'll get over 30 meters.
30 meters.
It'll get yeah.
By the time it's harvestable
it starts
already.
to slow down eventually, but I think, if you let it go full, like, lifespan type thing, I think it maxes out around 100 feet at 10 years, something like that. But you'll probably want to cut it down, way before that if you're looking to harvest, Or you can leave them for beautification because the leaves are, the flowers are beautiful.
Oh, it's flowering. Huh?
Yeah, here, let me show you.
Hindi, ito sir, ipakwan natin sa video yung
May video?
kwan. Yes.
Pakita nga natin.
Ikwan mo nga lang yung slideshow ng kwan, Paulownia.
Ito yung flower niya. Oops. Kita? So it looks like an ornamental too.
Here, you can turn up the brightness so you
Ayan,
can see a
ayan
little
sir,
better.
yung kwan nyo.
Ah.
Is it a good shade?
Pakita natin, ma'am. Ayan, oh. Look at the flower, oh. How many years the plant before it blooms?
Year 3, it should start to bloom, and then you can also collect seeds, and you can sell seeds, and you can use the seeds for reproduction in mass scale.
Wow.
Yeah, no, this is a good solution. That right there is a picture. That's a good example.
This is the mature
of
tree?
of a standard forestry model.
Oh.
And if we were to do one here, like say in between the rows, you can plant peanuts or a number of different crops.
Ginger, probably.
Ginger, garlic, you name it. I have in our list of crops that we will offer that I know will work well. There's over 100 different types of crops you could do.
Wow.
Yeah. There's other subspecies of this Paulownia Elongata that are from the same, areas.
This is the wood?
Yes, it's a hardwood too. That's an important note. So it's a hardwood that can be utilized for many things, from boat making to instruments, etc. The value of this timber is massive. The impact that it can have here. And it's lightweight too. That's another important factor. The rings grow.
How become it's a hardwood if it's a lightweight?
It's just the way it's designed. I mean, it's the way it grows. It is a hardwood that just grows extremely fast.
Ayan, sir.
Ito yung timber.
Although the wood is light, it is extremely strong and will not split even when spikes are driven into it.
And another thing with processing is it dries really fast too because of the way that it's structured.
Air dry in 30 days with no warping.
Ang bilis din, ha? Oh, that's
Yan. Kaya yung iba ho, gusto nga nilang magtanim, gagawin pa daw na tourist attraction nila eh.
Yeah. The tree is used for beautification in parks all over the world, like including the Eiffel Tower in New York, Central Park. So yeah, it's
Sige, next.
there's a picture of some of the trees in Paris and in Central Park.
Wow.
People are extremely eager to join and get this going, but naturally we have to follow the rules, and so that stuff takes time, and that's what we've been working on to get everything ready. Demonstration sites, all the proper paperwork, and then we can start onboarding people.
Can you do the ICU method?
What's that?
You're going to get a young stem.
Yeah.
Then put it in a bed and cover it with plastic.
We can do cloning work. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And so that's another thing. That this is kind of going to have a snowball effect as far as what we're able to put out. The more demonstration sites, the more root cuttings and clones that we can take in the process, so it can help increase our numbers and ability for output. Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier it was introduced already in the Philippines earlier?
Yeah, they started it.
When was that?
It was it's up in around Tabuk. I wish I could remember the name. The Caldera area. There's some testing zone. The DA was using.
Candelaria?
Yes, that
in
one.
Quezon?
No, there's one.
Candelaria.
There's one here near Tabuk, right? That the DA was using.
All right.
Yeah. I could look it up get the name for you, but yeah. So it was back in 1995. They did a study where they were testing a bunch of trees, for solutions, and then I guess they went with the paper tree out of that ordeal or something like that. But there's been field testing and stuff like that.
What happened to that research?
I don't know. It's one of those mysteries. I've been looking and searching. One day I will have to make my way up there and actually go talk to them in the office in person to hopefully find out what exactly went down there. Yeah.
Sir Francis,
Yes po.
ang ganda ng farm ninyo. Ang dami kong natutunan. Inspiring talaga. At yun nga, natuwa ako dun sa sinabi nyo na you build and
They will come.
they will come.
Oo. Maraming salamat din, sir. At napadpad ka dito sa amin. Natutuwa nga kami. Ngayon, siguro, lalo sisikat na kami dahil napuntahan na kami ng agribusiness.
Matagal lang kayong sikat.
Sir, na-meet namin kayo and hopefully magtuloy-tuloy po ang collaboration natin kasi
Yes, sir.
nakikita ko naman po pare-parehas po tayo ng advocacy.
Yes, sir.
Na,
Sobrang na-excite ako doon sa mushroom ninyo na protected cultivation. 100% ano talaga, controlled condition.
yes po. Kaya
First time yon. First time ako makakita na ganyan sa Pilipinas for mushroom.
thank you very much po. Thank you very much. At ngayon po, sana huwag kayong magsawa ng bumisita sa amin dito.
Yes, sir.
At sa opening po namin, invite namin uli ang agribusiness para mai-present namin sa lahat, sa mga kapwa natin, mga farmers din, na meron tayong ganitong mushroom farm dito sa Isabela.
Inspiring yung ginagawa ni Sir Francis na welcome ang mga estudyante mag-training dito ng ilang buwan ng libre.
Opo.
Ikaw pa nagpapakain sa kanila and all.
Yes po, open po kami kaya ina-accommodate na rin po namin iba-ibang probinsya.
Ano ang pwede niyong message sa audience natin? Kasi ang mga audience natin, nanonood sila kasi nagpipick up sila ng mga ideas.
Yes po. Unang-una, welcome po lahat kayo na pumasyal dito anytime, any day. Welcome po ang lahat dito sa FDN Integrated Farm. Ang lagi ko pong sinasabi, huwag po nating sukuan ang agrikultura. Tayo po ang kailangan for a food secured nation. Kaya kung hindi po natin itutuloy, lalo po tayong maghihirap dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya tuloy lang po natin, laban lang tayo. Kahit na hirap na tayo sa buhay natin sa agrikultura, darating din na yung time na aangat din po tayo. Kaya yun lang po, sir. At maraming salamat po.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much, sir.
Sir, paano kayo makokontak ng mga audience? Facebook po ninyo?
Yes po, meron po akong Facebook, Francis Nitura. Yung pong may hawak na mug at may hawak na manok. Dahil endorser, dati ho akong sabongero din. Kaya makikita po ninyo kami. Ang number ko po is 0917-996-1616. Ulitin ko po, 0917-996-1616. O kaya kontakin nyo lang po kami and sa Facebook ko po, mag-message lang po kayo sa amin at sasagutin po namin lahat ng mga
pumunta kayo dito sa
questions
farm,
nyo.
ang dami nyo talaga matututunan.
Opo. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you
again,
po.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much po. My pleasure po na nagpunta po kayo dito.
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Agribusiness merch is now available on Shopee and Lazada. Agribusiness, how it works. Instruct, inspire, succeed.